What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to the $10,000 EIDL grant and election update. OMG, it is Wednesday, November the 4th, 2020. Please do me a huge favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Hashtag EIDL with your comments below. And if you're new to this channel and you'd like me to help grow your business with a brand new venture that we're about to announce real soon, in addition to $1,500 in cash prizes, probably in the next 3 or 4 days, I ask that you subscribe, and everybody right now needs to hit the bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I probably need my head examined, as was the case for most of these videos, for diving into this deep end of the pool. But I was just out walking right now. It's gorgeous. Sunny and about 72 degrees here in Atlanta. Just absolutely beautiful. So I said, you know what? Let me go back inside, tell my YouTube family what I think about this election, which is likely to go to the Supreme Court. Why in the world is the stock market? Keep in mind, I was on Wall Street 14 years. Why is the market up another 700 points? That's 2,000 in the Dow over the last 4 days. And last but not least, before this video is over, what does this mean with respect to stimulus and your $10,000 cash advance with respect to EIDL? And you guessed it, a loan up to $2 million if you qualify. All right, look. I was up till 4 a.m. I don't know how many of you, maybe tell me in the comments, did you stay up all night? What a roller coaster, right? We started the night, Biden, according to the Vegas odds, which are very accurate typically. Biden was favored to win yesterday about 65%. And at about 1 o'clock in the morning, it flipped when it looked like Trump was, right after he won Florida, and he was way ahead in North Carolina and Georgia. Then it went Trump 68%. Then it started to fade. Then I woke up this morning and it's Biden as we speak right now, 77%, was as high as 91. But some things have happened with respect to Arizona and Nevada in particular, and even Michigan. So don't go anywhere. Give me an attempt to be as nonpartisan as I possibly can. I know for a fact that we're divided. I mean, my goodness, 95% of the pollsters should be put out of business. If they're not put out of business, they should be sanctioned, fined, reprimanded, all the above. Right? The ABC Washington Post poll 2 days ago had Biden win in Wisconsin by 17 points. Now it's headed for a recount with a 0.5% difference. And we listened, as you all know, for the last 6 months. Biden up 12, Biden up 10. Well, according right now to the popular vote, and most of California is actually in, it's 2%. Now it may get up to 3%, but that means they were way off. That's number one. Number two, whatever dreams the Democrats had of taking over the Senate, that's gone, which makes Mitch McConnell officially the most powerful Republican anywhere, and that includes the President of the United States in Washington, D.C. And another shocker, the GOP did not take over the House, but they gained 5 seats, so Nancy has a weaker hand. So why in the world, if according to Vegas, it looks like Biden has a 77% chance of winning, Republicans almost a guaranteed lock to hold on to the Senate, and they gain seats in the House, why is the stock market in fuego? Well, if you read reports from JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs this morning, it comes down to 2 words: divided government. Those of you that are old like me, I'm 50 years of age, I was on Wall Street during the 1990s. Slick Willie, aka Bill Clinton, was president, and Newt Gingrich was running a Republican Congress. And I can remember every day the stock market was up, up, up. We had the dot-com mania. Fast forward to 2009 when we came out of the Great Recession. The Dow got down to 6750 at one point near the lows. Well, it more than quadrupled when President Trump took over in January of 2017. Obama and the Democrats controlled the White House, and McConnell and the Republicans had control for the most part in Congress. You could also go all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was a Republican in the White House, and his buddy Tip O'Neill, they'd have martinis at 5 o'clock, was a Democrat. Divided government. The stock market in the late 1990s in particular was in fuego. In fuego. So there are times in our history that go back 100 years or more that when we have divided government, one controls the White House, the other controls Congress. It keeps checks and balances on everyone. That's why the market's up. It's up furiously on potential stimulus. The tech stocks are up, probably because this looks like regulation coming down on Facebook, Twitter, Google if Biden wins is way down. Everybody knows there's been collusion. They may censor this video because I just told you that. But no one's going to convince you or me that Twitter, they've already censored half of Trump's tweets today. They're not going to tell me that they weren't colluding or working together to suppress any of the conservative voice. They have. I may be banned. I may be toast after telling you the truth. But we all know it's true. So those stocks are on fire. What's not on fire are the airlines, the cruise ships, the movie theaters. They're waiting on a stimulus. Which brings me to my next to last point. What's going to happen if Biden does win and the Republicans at least control the Senate and have a better, stronger hand in the House? Same thing that happened in the 90s and post-2009 under Barack Obama and Joseph Biden. The market's going to do very, very well. They've already gone on record. They want $6 trillion for the Green New Deal. I don't care what you think about it, but you're talking about millions of jobs. They want $2 trillion for infrastructure, and they want $2.2 trillion for a COVID relief. What is that? My third grade math tells me $10 trillion. When you pour gasoline on the fire combined with the Fed, the monetary, that's fiscal policy I just gave you. Monetary policy, the Fed has zero interest rates for the next 3 years. They already said they're not moving them off zero until the end of 2023. And if they start increasing bond buybacks, it's just like 2009. We're going to pour more and more gasoline on the fire and give investors no other choice but to go into stocks. And that's why the market is just on fire today. It's divided government. It's massive amounts of fiscal backed up by monetary stimulus, which leads me to my final point. I'm tired, folks. Maybe you're tired. This whole year has just got me tired, right? Just exhausted. And I'm sure this is not over. There's a strong possibility. I just listened to Bill Stepien, who's the campaign advisor for Trump. They actually think they have the votes to win Michigan by 10,000. Outside of Detroit, they claim there's 7 counties that have not fully been counted yet. Now, I have noticed that the Biden campaign is not screaming and hollering that they're going to win Michigan. They are screaming and hollering that they're going to win Wisconsin. They've almost conceded Pennsylvania to Trump by upwards of 40,000 votes. If Trump gets North Carolina and Georgia, which look very, very possible, even if he loses Arizona, he's only down by 0.4% in Nevada, 0.4% Nevada with 8% of the vote, 9% of the vote to be counted. And according to Bill Stepien, outside of Reno and Vegas, which are strong Democrat turnouts, there's 4 or 5 counties that according to the Republicans, they're going to win Nevada by 5,500 votes. Not 55,000, 5,500. If that's the case because Trump just won the one electoral vote in Maine about 20 minutes ago, that gives Trump, I believe, exactly 270. Which means another 4 years. So ladies and gentlemen, it's leaning Biden right now. It's leaning hard to the Republicans in the Senate, and they gain seats in the House. At the end of the day, I believe this now puts the HEROES Act center stage. Nancy has control of the House. If Biden gets control of the White House, you think they're going to say, Mitch, you want to spin up S4227 for us? You want to get that skinny bill, that $500 billion skinny bill that you tried to pass? No. They're going to go right back to 2.2 trillion. Hell, they may go back to 3.2 trillion that they passed in May of this year. What is inside of the HEROES Act? I've told you this before. $90 billion of grant. On page 5 of 87 of the summary, it says $50 billion for small business assistance. Then on page 32, it says $40 billion, which is not $50 billion. So I think it's $50 billion to get you the balance of the 10 grand and a loan up to $2 million if you qualify. That's in all 3 bills. And then you've got the SBA Lifeline grant, which is $40 billion. And in order to qualify, you have to have 50 employees or less, and you got to show an economic loss of 30% or more. So if your revenue is dropped in 2020 as a result of the pandemic by more than 30%, that's most of you, that's including me, and you can prove it with your bank statements. Hey, Mr. SBA loan officer, I was bringing in 10 grand a month in January and February. Then we got locked down in March through the end of the year, and my revenue dropped to 5 grand. Well, that's a 50% loss. That means if you have less than 50 employees, you qualify to up to 50 grand or 6 months of working capital, which is ever less. So let's use the following example. If you're paying yourself $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year, very reasonable for a small business owner. You also have business credit cards, rent, utilities, let's say are $3,000 a month. That's a total of $8,000 a month. Well, what's $8,000 times 6 months? $48,000. So if the HEROES Act, which is in the House with Nancy Pelosi, actually becomes center stage under President-elect Joe Biden, and that's an if, you stand to get not just $10,000 of EIDL grant money and a loan up to $2 million, which again is in all three bills, 2 in the House, 1 in the Senate. But if you have 50 employees or less, and you can prove through your bank statements that you've suffered an economic loss of 30% or more as a result of the lockdown, you get up to another $50,000. And get this, there's 2 provisions in there that say when the $40 billion gets down to 25% left or $10 billion, they're supposed to alert, the SBA is supposed to alert. I know. Javita, are you watching the video? There's no breaking of the law this time if it happens to be the HEROES Act. We want our $10,000, right? Tell me in the comments below. We want our $10,000 and a loan up to $2 million if we qualify. But if this Lifeline grant, which is another 50 G's, which most of you will qualify, is in there, you get down to $10 billion left, Ms. Carranza, make sure you alert Congress for more money. That's one of the provisions. And last but not least, there's also a provision in there that says, under the Lifeline grant, again, up to $50,000 for most of you that qualify, you can use that money to pay off your PPP loan or your EIDL loan, which is kind of like loan forgiveness. It's kind of a backdoor way to say, hey, if you don't want to take on more debt from the SBA, which is probably most of you, then if you get $50,000 or up to in the Lifeline grant, you can use that $50,000 or $48,000 in the example I gave you to pay off $50,000 that you already took from the SBA with respect to EIDL. Or you can hang on to the Lifeline grant, which I would probably do because, again, Big Ben Cardin, second in command for the Senate Committee for Small Business, wants to eliminate the EIDL or get it forgiven. This guy is going to fight like hell once we get you your money in this COVID relief package to make sure that you never pay the SBA a dime. So that might mean you get your $10,000 of the balance thereof. You get another up to $50,000 in the Lifeline grant. You decide if you want to use it to pay off your loan or hold on to it for possible loan forgiveness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you appreciate me coming to you dead effing tired, to give you this update, my honest opinion. I will continue to keep you in the loop. Until next time, I love you, and thanks for watching.